So you want to know how good the final tune from Ovtune is? Well, watch this video and find out.
There you go.
No! Yeah! Go! Woo-hoo! Ovtune 1 year review. So I'm going to give a review based off of the whole product along with the tune I am running. So starting with the Ovtune, everything is pretty simple for the most part. You've got instructions. With me personally as a handheld, it's pretty straightforward. Obviously I did a whole install video for you guys there and stuff like that. So that process is easy. The only downside, I guess, to Ovtune, which everyone, I guess, kind of knows, is yes, customer service is not the greatest by all means. At the time when I had concerns or questions, I actually saw a response within a week. But now, obviously, things have changed for us, and so has the whole world, basically. So now with the whole VF tuner, and then him finishing up twin turbo kits, and, you know, so many more sales and this and that, he's been filled up, basically. So I guess that is the one downside. Me personally, I don't really have much concerns for customer service right now because I have no issues. That being said, me as a handheld owner, I have no access to VF Tuner like all you guys. And I kind of want to get on VF Tuner so I can actually tune my AGM battery so I can have 14.5 volts on this. I've emailed a few times already. I haven't heard back from him yet, and that was a couple months ago, so that's kind of a downside there. But overall, I'm not going to diss Ovtune for that because it's not a big deal to me. Product itself, I'm very happy. The tune is great. Everything's great about it. And in regards to the tune I'm running, it's the premium file, the THX throttle enhancement that he's got on it. It's a 33-inch tall tire tune. It's stock gearing, obviously, because I haven't re-geared. Otherwise, you would have known that. And that, personally, is probably the best tune that I have ran on this truck. And I've ran 3 different tunes on this truck. I honestly can't beat this tune at all. Like, I'm happy overall with it. ECT power works. I don't have gear locking or the map switching, not whatever. That's added features. Has no effect on how the tuning of the truck is done. Downshifts are great. Upshifts are great. Throttle response is just perfect. Like, I mean perfect, guys. Like, you will not go wrong with it on the THX files there. So, but now that the VF tuner's out, you guys can tune it to your own liking. My file review maybe doesn't matter as much anymore because now you guys can do your own tuning to your liking. But that being said, not everyone wants to actually do this. Some people just want to run a file, but they don't know which file to run. Well, here's my review for it. So, go based off of the tire size that you have. I've seen some guys run the bigger tire files for longer shift points. My old tunes didn't have the 33-inch tire tune available for the shift points in that. The truck has noticeably smoothed out way more, and in terms of downshifting, especially while driving, so like when I put my foot down and it downshifts, it actually, I don't feel anything at all. It just smoothest transition you'll ever get. I love it there for sure. Changing between all the gears, reverse drive and all that, it's all smooth there. So in terms of all 3 tunes, they all feel the same, but there is just some of the differences there. So like with the performance base that he had back months ago, too much tipping. I couldn't control it off-road or anything like that, so that kind of sucked. Base tune was nice, but I still felt like it was lacking a little bit extra throttle response to it. Felt like it had a dead spot almost still to it. But now with this, no dead spots at all. Highway driving, normal city driving, I can put my foot down halfway, and most of the time it is only halfway, and it'll go. Overall, guys, though, this tune is probably the best tune you could get in terms of performance-wise and smooth shifts. I'd imagine on the 87 octane, you'll probably get everything else but the added power-wise. The only power added in the 87 octane is a lower end torque added from the ACIS, I believe it is what he said on there. Between 25 and 3,500, you got about 50 foot-pounds of extra torque. But in terms of horsepower or anything, there's really no changes because just you need to run premium fuel for it. And so 91 will do it. But if you only have 93 apparently, which is common around the States, 93 gives you a little bit more power. He had tuned it for 91 and then 93. It's like 5 or 6 more horsepower, I think, on 93. I have 94 octane here, but I haven't personally ran that yet. I've been just running 91, and I've been happy ever since. 7,000 RPM, dead stops, all that there. It's great. So there's lots of runs at it with that. And I mean, raced my buddy, I've raced a few people and all that. So it definitely scoots. We can go with that for sure. So, but overall, guys, if you need to run a tune and you don't know which tune to run it based off of your tire size. So if you're stock tires, then you want to run the stock tire. Don't look for the file that has a 33 or 35 to it. So run the stock one there so that it's running the stock tire size. And then if you want to run the throttle enhanced or not, well, then that's THX or non-THX. I would go for the THX though. I think you would really like it overall. So, because just the way it smooths in, and then the way you can just the throttle into it and it just goes, it's great. So I've noticed that I can seem to control the overdrive gear a little bit better with the THX file, which is nice. So because if you guys know the current fuel economy bar that goes from 0 to 30 miles per gallon, that is actually based off of your throttle position a little bit there, I've noticed. So if I'm staying at 15 miles per gallon, which is that dead halfway mark, I know I'm in 5th gear already and whatnot, and I can just see how much throttle I can put into it. And it goes down to about 11 miles per gallon, you know, kind of almost a halfway point between 0 and the 15. And it will not downshift. It actually holds 5th gear, and I'm actually pulling quite well, actually, on the highway, which is also quite impressive because, 1, it's winter time, 2, is a little bit windy around here like always, and then 3, it's on heavy off-road tires now. So, and I mean, these are 10 ply 61 pounds each, so it moves pretty good. I can't say that there's major differences between all the tunes because they all hold gears better, they all have the performance to them, but just the way this tune is set up and everything, especially with ECT, I mean, sometimes I hit it just for fun, and throttle's at like 20%, and I'll shift at 3,000 or whatever versus the average $2,000, $2,500. But it all is based off of where you put your throttle. So, you know, if you're putting your throttle on the very tip, it's not going to shift very high, obviously. But then if you're halfway down, she'll shift to 3,000. I mean, in drive, I can shift this truck at 3,000 RPM every time, all just based off of my foot. Like, I can control it perfectly fine. So there's something to keep in mind there too. Whereas it's stock, you can't control shit. Like, you put your foot down and it'll shift, and then it'll downshift again because it's like, oh, you're putting more throttle into it, let's downshift. No, I just want you to keep shifting, but also keep putting throttle into it because I don't need my RPMs at 6,000 RPM. So there's kind of my 2 cents on all of it, guys. Overall, like I said, I'm very happy for the product. I'm still happy. Just that little downside of dealing with Matt right now because I want to get VF Tuner set up for my handheld. I really do. I want to be able to make my own tunes for my handheld so I can upload the tunes to my handheld and just upload it to my truck and done. That's all I need. I just need my type of files for VF Tuner or for the handheld to accept these VF2 files. I have no idea how we're going to get it to work yet. I don't even know if 100% I'm going to be able to, or if I'm going to have to return the handheld yet. So that's the only downside I have personally as an owner of Ovtune. But I'm trying my best to get it sorted out because I want to be able to tune people around here because I have a few buddies that actually want the Ovtune as well. So, and I'm pretty sure they're watching this video too. So they want Ovtune, I want to give them Ovtune, and I want to tune. Let me know what you guys think of this review. I try to keep it short as much as I can. But like I said, overall, I'm loving the tune around. So I'm just going to give you guys some driving experience, and that will be it. Later. That was good. More throttle, more throttle, more throttle, more throttle. More throttle. So as I was saying more throttle, I was literally putting my foot down more and more and more. So I went about 3/4 throttle by the time I finished. So it won't downshift when I'm actually giving throttle versus, you know, stock tuning or the other tunes I kind of noticed there with the throttle position. So right now we're hanging in 5th gear or whatever. So like there's a little bit of throttle. Right now it's sitting at 15, and as you see, I'm actually accelerating perfectly fine. So here's what I mean by like a smooth downshift in like half throttle. I don't even feel that. It goes. Like if I tell my foot to go down, it'll go down. I can overtake just about anything.